Bearcat Bounce Podcast. Back at it again. A Monday. It is a Monday. Monday following Taylor Swift is a Bearcat fan Monday. Monday following Arrowhead, loudest stadium in the world, question mark Monday. Monday following tough loss week 1 Monday in a game that felt like it was ages ago, but tough one to Nebraska at Arrowhead Stadium. We're going to talk about all of that. Week 1, where week 2 is now here. Return to Nippert Stadium. Week 2, Monday, wear white. Nippert Stadium, loud, early, proud. 3:30 p.m. kickoff. It's a Monday as well, where I've got the crew. We are fully assembled. We are ready to break down everything that happened in week 1 and look forward to the week 2. So without further ado, a special Labor Day 8:30 start edition of the BBP. Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer. Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm good. I'm full.
Okay.
Feast tonight. Feast tonight.
Oh.
Went to the girlfriend's house, made a beef tenderloin. It was outstanding. There goes Ryan. Had some Hasselback potatoes, some baked beans.
Explain Hasselback potatoes, please.
They're like sliced down, but they're still like together. And you get like some herbs and butter, and they're a little crispy, crispy on the outside, soft in the middle.
You bake those suckers?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And then some grilled bread, some chicken wings.
Whoa. On top of the little wings.
And then some pecan brownies.
Oh,
for dessert, the normal kind, not the good kind, but the normal kind.
Maybe one special one for you.
But yeah, I'm full. I'm going through it right. I could lay my head down and take a nap right now.
I was about to say the yawns will be starting in about 30 minutes. You guys can keep track of those yawns. For each yawn, we'll have them. Who knows? Do something crazy on camera. Why not? That'd be fun. But yeah, that sounds like a feast. Happy Labor Day to you.
Really good.
Heck yeah. Weekend was good, though. A lot of, Thursday game, you got a full weekend ahead of you.
A lot of football on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Had the neighbor had a fire pit last night. So a little fire pit Sunday.
Okay.
And here we are on Monday, ready to go.
Boom, baby. Gotta love a good fire pit. The weather's getting nice for that. Aaron, sir. How are we, brother?
Doing all right. We had a little snafu today. One of the kids broke his hand, but we're dealing with it. But we had a surprise birthday party for my mom, 65th.
Surprise!
So that was fun. She had never had one of those before. So
a birthday?
A surprise party.
Some fries.
Birthday party.
Yeah, so we had fun. It was a good time. Got to see a bunch of family, and all good.
There we go, man. There we go. Football, a lot of football for you?
No, because a lot of driving back and forth, and clean the garage. Just trying to get some stuff done around here before we were in the thick of it. Rachel's got a birthday coming up this weekend, so.
Surprise round 2, huh?
Nope.
No, this one is surprise. There we go. Mr. Royer, the boy, looking tan down there, brother. Were you in Columbus? Looked like a ruckus environment. Did you give a hug to Lee Corso?
I was in Columbus. I did not get to see Lee, but I did catch a lot of sun out over this weekend from tailgating and whatnot. But it was a good first weekend back into football, minus the Bearcats on Thursday. But we can talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, got to spend a lot of time with family. So it's always good. But I'd kind of rather have a Thursday win over family time. I'm a little bit selfish.
Selfish is good when it comes to that aspect. Shoot. Makes a weekend way better, but you know what? Either way, we got to digest a lot of football Big 12 looking interesting this year, gentlemen. Looking interesting. But outside of that, man, golly, Thursday, we got to relive it again. You've already been on the BCJ networks. I mean, we don't have to, but I think we're assembled to do that. For the least part, we got a former player here who can break it down better than anyone. So I'm excited.
I wouldn't say that, but I'll give my best.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, football's back, man. You know what? We were in Orlando, the fam, and all of a sudden it's at one of the cars just doesn't start. Disney's got this cool thing where they send someone to you. Mickey Mouse himself shows up and jumps your car for you, gives you a quick diagnosis. And I was like, is that Danco Joe underneath that Mickey Mouse mask? And it was not Danco Joe. It was not Danco Joe. But you can go to Danco Joe and get Danco Transmission Auto Care. $10 off next oil change, 10% off the next fixing. He can fix a lot of things. And I hope that he's got some offensive line his thoughts are cleared up now after the week 1 performance that he was able to take in on Thursday. But Danco Transmission Auto Care, got to give a shout out there. Let's dive right into it, boys. Obviously, not the outcome that we all wanted, but it was the outcome that we got. 20-17 final. The Nebraska Cornhuskers, the visitors, if you didn't hear on the telecast numerous times in this game, the visitors at this neutral field.
Wait, Cincinnati was the home team?
Supposedly, the home team was the Cincinnati Bearcats. I think the game was moved. I think the game was moved from, I believe, Indianapolis to Kansas City.
First it was supposed to be at Nippert, and then to Indianapolis.
Yes.
It was. I was unaware that it was supposed to be a Cincinnati home game. First I've heard of it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They tried to mention that a couple times, and then they kept on saying the loudest stadium in the world. So that was another thing there at Arrowhead Stadium. So 20-17. A handful of days have passed since that game. As I always do, just general thoughts now that the game's in the rearview mirror. Chad and Aaron, you guys, had the aftermath. You guys had numerous other things since then. The brunch wrapped up yesterday morning. Another fantastic show. Good job, Dave and Jeff. But now that a handful of days have passed, I guess just overall general observation of whether it's the team, whether it's the offense, whether it's the defense, special teams. Aaron, you were singing their praises a lot on Thursday night, but the days have passed. The 0-1 Cincinnati Bearcats game of the rearview mirror. But Ryan, I'm going to pass down to you. Just I guess overall general observations before we really get into the nitty gritty of things.
Okay, so I rewatched the game today.
Nice.
I think this team has definitely taken a step forward. I think this, we were talking about this being a better team roster-wise from the first years of Coach Satterfield, and I thought that was true because when I was watching it, I was kind of like towards the end, I'm like when we came back, we didn't like that 17-3 deficit, get worse. I was like, I think that was a step in the right direction for this team. And the fact that we were there in the end with a chance to win and a chance to tie, all coming down to that one interception. Obviously I want us to win, but I was happy that they were to make it a game on a national stage against a team who I thought was solid. They're just solid all around. Mm-hmm. I think Nebraska is a better team. I think they're bigger, more athletic, and a better football team, but not by much. And I think that's showing how Cincinnati has moved in the right direction. But, it came down to turnovers. We made 2 mistakes and didn't capitalize on a couple of mistakes that we forced or did not make ourselves, like the pick 6. But, obviously disappointing, but I think we showed that we could compete and win that game, which I think is a positive based on where we've been at the previous 2 years. But we can go down and kind of hit some more details on that.
Yeah.
don't know if you agree that Nebraska was clearly a better team.
I just thought
very similar.
I thought that their secondary was clearly better.
I would agree. Their secondary was probably the best unit in the game. Yeah. Other than that, I did not see in those two teams.
I thought that their when I'm saying they just looked like a better football team on offense and defense.
I disagree. I thought they looked very close. Very close. I'm not taking like a shot at Nebraska. I didn't see much separation between those two teams watching.
I think second quarter.
Yeah,
when
they dominated
Nebraska
the second
was
quarter.
Dominating us, I think you can get that feel where it felt like it was going to start to snowball, to be honest with you. And then kind of that opportunistic play happened in that second quarter where, the fumble, which Royer, what are you taught? Let's just dive right into that. Obviously a massive play. Raiola puts the ball on the ground and Monte Wheaton's right there he tries to scoop and score. He could have probably just fallen on it. And in the process, might have landed on Raiola's arm. And it just the entire thing just seemed like the opportunity to scoop and score was there. But in that scenario, are you all about just dive on it, time, and kind of just...
Yeah, that's how
it was.
It's situational. I thought that, if you're sacking a quarterback, I think a lot of defensive coaches would agree, like the opportunity to scoop and score is there, because if you have a quarterback who's out of the pocket and your guys are swarming to it, like really the only person that is closest is that quarterback who's being tackled. But I personally believe that you should just dive on the ball at all times as a defensive player, especially if the ball is within field goal range. I don't think
how much of that is instinct, where you just see it and your eyes get the size of grapefruits and pick it up, just like your brain says, pick it up.
Yeah.
How much do you have to fight instinct, I guess, is what I'm asking there.
We were coached, it's literally the only time we did scoop and score was like for special teams, like a block scoop and score, because that is way
still
more.
Get the ball.
Yeah. But defensive, it was literally, we would drill it every single day, dive on it, dive and tuck so that no one, and protect the ball. Because, the chances of a ball being rolling in front of you on the ground as a defensive player, they don't come around often. And it's literally like, just get the ball is the most important thing ever, not scoring the ball. Getting the ball first is the most important thing. So I was really frustrated with that play because the way I was coached, my opinion of it, where you're at in the field, obviously you're, as a defensive player, you're not thinking before the play, hey, if they fumble it because they're, within field goal point scoring range, I'm going to dive on it because I don't want to give any chance of a recovery so that Nebraska can have more points on the board. But
yeah,
that's kind of my take.
I mean, it was like 2 minutes left in the first half. Then, if you don't just fall on it, it leads to a punt for Nebraska. I just think, obviously, like Chad said, if it's just heat of the moment type scenario, I mean, Whedon's probably just thinking, nothing but green ahead of me. But you fall on it, then you take possession over there with 2 minutes, a chance to really do something at the end of the half, which, I mean, it's just, it's insanity, the end of the half scenarios. But before we do the end of the half things real fast, I'm going to bring up a thought on just the beginning of the game. It was a good drive to start the game. That the very first
field position.
Yeah. But that's when the first false start happened on a crucial 3rd and 2. I guess do you aid the false starts to the noise factor? I think is kind of what everyone's starting to really say is the indicator for those. I thought the offensive line played pretty damn well as a whole. I don't think Sorsby was really ever in any pressure scenarios. The only bugaboo would be those false starts that they had, and you can pin those on the crowd noise. So I don't know. The whole crowd thing is obviously it's been the hot topic of this game ever since, and we don't have to really dive too much into it, but I thought they had a good start to the game, and then obviously the false start put an end to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it also looks a lot better too when you have 200 rush yards, but Sorsby accounted for 100. So I'd have to look at how much of those were like scramble yards versus like design run. But yeah, I didn't feel like Sorsby was ever in a lot of duress. We didn't have the ball a lot. We had 20 minutes of possession. So we weren't stringing together a lot of like long drives. So where that like, I don't know, we could rely more on the running back run game, or we could rely more on trying to find some holes in that Nebraska secondary. It's just Nebraska was just in control for a lot of the first half, and they were able to, string drives together with first downs and because our defense wasn't like letting up any explosive plays. Yeah, there were times guys were running free, but it was only for like 10 yards, 12 yards, just giving them free first down sometimes, but they were never giving them touchdowns or field flipping plays.
It's the
on
3-3-5. Everything, keep everything in front, umbrella the top with the 3 safeties, and don't let them get behind you.
Yeah. And I thought they did. I mean, we could just talk defense. Really. I mean, the defense did a solid job. 20 points, had us right there with a chance to win it. But, they were also, strip sack fumble.
Yeah.
That was right in front of us. Pick 6 right in front of us, where we were talking about so many times this offseason. Like, hey, this defense, this could be the year they could go win us some games. And if you look at those 2 plays, if they make those, I think that we win the game.
Yeah.
And I think that we would be pounding our hand on the table for the defense, winning that game like a 17-14 or 17-13 or whatever they would have had. I'm trying to think about it. And Sorsby throws for 70 yards and we still win. It's like, yeah, because the defense balled out.
And special teams.
But what I also noticed about the defense, it was a lot of bend don't break, but when they did put pressure on Raiola, it just threw off Nebraska so much. Dante was a staple in both the run game and the pass game. He was making plays too. It wasn't just the classic Dante, blow his guy off the line and just kind of filter everything out to like a linebacker or forcing the quarterback out of the pocket pass wise. But I thought the linebackers played well. Golday flashed.
JT flashed. JT was really good.
Yeah,
he was.
But I felt like they had a little bit more like aggressiveness with calls than they had like last year at times, and I thought it was working too. It wasn't like, oh, let's gamble, and then Raiola was just able to like pick us apart, easily identify blitz. I love how they're going up with the mug fronts. I thought that was confusing him a lot of times whenever they would go in it. But yeah, I mean, I think that the defense took a step in the right direction. Now it's kind of figure out like, hey, like how good is Nebraska's defense that we couldn't really string together a passing game to keep drives going and score more points. But
yeah,
I don't know.
That's the thing. So defensively, I completely agree. I thought Golday just really flexed that he's an NFL player. I think he just, they needed a big play there in the fourth quarter, and Golday came up with that sack where he just, pushed his man all the way back and was able to bull rush and then peel off and get the sack. It was a great play by Golday. And I think the linebacking corp is just so deep. Like Sims looks like a dude.
Sims looks great.
Whedon looks like a dude. Sure, he should have fallen on that fumble, but he looks like a dude. Simeon Coleman.
He was all over the place.
Yeah, I thought the safeties were flying around too, Roy. I don't know if you noticed that at all. It did seem like you kind of give up that short intermediate catch and then just all ball hawk and get down the defender as quickly as possible. It did seem like the only time that Nebraska had like great rushing success was when Dante was out of the game, which is, I mean, you can't play every single snap. So it's got to probably figure out, the best defensive line rotations to kind of negate those extra rushing yards. But I thought it was kind of just an overall very strong performance by the defense. But I mean, that, Ryan, when you put a defense out there on the field for as long as they were, this was a thing with, during the Fickle years and even during the Brian Kelly years, it's like, okay, you have a defense out there for that amount of time. By the way, the second lowest time possession in all of college football in this past week was Cincinnati. In that second quarter alone, where multiple 3-and-outs.
And it wasn't like the Brian Kelly years because the offense was scoring too fast.
Right, exactly. It was like
big difference.
Yes, huge difference.
It was because the offense was going 3-and-out and punting right back to Nebraska.
Over and over and over again. But it did seem like the safeties, at least as a whole, are doing a lot better job flying to the ball when the initial catch is made by Nebraska. So I don't know if you noticed that. It seems like comparatively to the last 2 years.
We seem like we had a very established plan. Keep everything in front of you. Mm-hmm. We're going to dial up some new looks on some pressures. Those worked. I think the concept of, there were times where I was a little bit frustrated on, like, it just felt like we were a little bit too soft, especially on a third down.
Yeah.
Because I felt like sometimes
on the corners, you mean?
Yeah. And like, especially when we combined it with the pressure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was like, you got to combine pressure on the pressure at the quarterback with some pressure at the line out wide and in the slot, because, you need to have bodies on bodies as soon as possible so that he can't just look out and first thing he sees is open grass and a guy standing right in it for him to just dunk it off to. Yeah. But I really can't. There was never a play on defense that I could go back and think about, like, oh, that was a big, like, fuck up and, like, that cost us, like, the game because, like, we let a guy run free or, like, we didn't tackle somebody. Whereas I thought there were times last year. Good. Yeah. No, this defense looks like a lot more, just more solid of a defense than it's ever looked. The only times that I was like, holy shit, like what is when it was like not jumping on the fumble or dropping the pick six.
Yeah.
Which is, I'd rather that be the two worst plays on defense of the game, because that means we didn't do it. We didn't let up a catastrophic play with Nebraska in the end zone.
But that's the difference between good and great, right? Like that's what elevates you to where you're talking about this defense was great as opposed to just good.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's good enough to win the damn football game, though.
There's nothing wrong with a good defense. Don't get me wrong. But when you're talking about what the difference is between a team being great and where you're not, we're not accustomed to seeing Cincinnati, at least under Scott Satterfield, make those plays. We're not used to seeing them make the game-changing plays, and that's what elevates you. In my opinion, anyway, from going from good to great is when you're able to find your own luck. Luke Fickell, say everything you want about him, good or bad, but his teams always found their own luck. It's being in the right place at the right time in order to make those plays. And it seems like if you're not always going to be in the right place at the right time to make those plays, you have to capitalize when you are in the right place at that time to make those plays. And that's something that we need to be able to see from both Tyson Veit's defense and Scott Satterfield teams, to go from good to great, to win those games that you're a play or two away. That's the difference between the win and the loss. That's the difference between 4-8 and 8-4. Is those coin flips. You have to come out on the right side of the coin flips.
More than 69 yards passing. Also very high up on the list.
We'll never disagree with that. We'll never disagree with that.
The highest on the list for me.
But we find ourselves, it just feels like we find ourselves far too often under Scott Satterfield over the course of the last several seasons, where you're a play or two away, 2 2 or 3 plays away. And when you find these plays, you have to make these plays. Otherwise, you're coming up on the wrong side of the ball.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing as well. The Logan Wilson drop pick 6 it still wasn't a play that like killed you though. Like, yes, you want to have that crazy, momentum shifting play, but I led to a 4th down and, got your defense off the field. It just seems like we're nitpicking at this point because of like how bad the offense played. Not really the offense as a whole, because I mean, running the football was damn well. But I mean, you throw for 69 yards. I before we move on, anything more on defense? I thought like Christian Harrison had like flashed a bunch, like that one tackle that he had on their tight end, like to hold
To
him out
save
of
a
the end zone.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's some grown
He
man
just
strength.
didn't
right
give
there.
up.
Yeah.
Just didn't give up.
I thought Saints was really good. I thought
Saints
Pete
is great,
was really
yeah.
good. Like you
Mhm.
had both of those guys out there making plays from that
Yeah.
star position. Like I said, I thought
Hayden
Jonathan
Barnes
Thompson
was pretty good.
I thought Jonathan Thompson was excellent. Trey Gala-Collard made a couple plays. But like, the frustrating thing, like Ryan said, was the free release to the field on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Because McDoom looked like he was at least close. Like he wasn't in press coverage, but McDoom was in the vicinity of the line of scrimmage. They had Logan Wilson, field corner, zone defense. That's not uncommon. But when you have a quarterback like Raiola, he doesn't want to throw the ball beyond 10 yards. Like he wants to be deadly accurate, quick, take the snap, make a decision. That's Dana Holgerson's offense. We talked about it all last week leading up to the game. That's who they are. That's who they're going to be. I think in that situation, Ryan, and I think you would agree, you have to look at it and say, like, we know this. We're playing into their game plan. They want to get to 3rd and 4 and then throw something quick for a 1st down. I just don't love backing a guy 7-8 yards off the line of scrimmage there, because it just signals over here, 1st down, keep the drive alive, keep Cincinnati's offense off the field. And they gave it to him for most of the night. And that part, watching, is really frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about I think it's all about knowing game one, knowing your calls, knowing your guys. I can understand certain situations like, hey, let's just not fuck up and let's just keep these guys in front of us. But it's a balance.
Don't
Chad.
get beat deep.
Yeah.
Like they don't want you to you bring Logan Wilson up to the line of scrimmage. They put a double move on him, and a 3rd and 4 from, the Nebraska 40-yard line ends up a touchdown. That's what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
But man, they gave up a lot of easy 1st downs along the way.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about just how, like, the concept, the concept, hey, bend, don't break, bend, don't break. Like, well, I feel like we're so close to breaking if we're giving up like 10 1st downs, but still
at one point, I think they were 9 of 16 on 3rd down.
Yeah.
That's frustrating. Like to watch as a fan, that's frustrating.
When you look at us, we're like 1 for 8 at that time.
Right.
They finished 10 for 18, which is still really damn good in 3rd down conversions. Dylan Raiola gets a lot of like flack. A lot of it has to do with his whole, the Pat Mahomes thing and this, that, and the other. But I thought he was pretty damn good. He takes his time. He's really patient. He doesn't really ever put the ball in harm's way. I thought he was pretty damn good, but like, it's not like he went out there and blazed the world and scored a bunch of touchdowns. I think the one pass over McDoom, I thought, was just a good play by the receiver. Put it in a spot where it was hard to go up against, especially with McDoom. He's not the tallest, longest, cornerback in the world. So smart play there. And then I don't know what you saw on that other touchdown. Royer was a 4th down. So an opportunity to get off the field, maybe just to complete just misread of the safety to linebacker? Were they passing him off, or because
it looked like
wide
that
open in the end zone?
It looked like it was a broken coverage of some sort, because they kind of looked at each other afterwards like, oh shit, what the hell?
And Harrison's reaction told me he knew he got beat inside, but he also thought he had more help than he had.
Yeah,
like he got beat quick inside, and he knew like he should have had a better leverage on the play, but you got to have some help there, and he didn't get any.
I mean, especially that's what, when it comes down to that, it's such a tight window. It's not like, oh, like I'm just gonna let him go inside because I have help. Because no, it's basically you're man on man, and like it's all about like what half of the receiver you're on, just in case like they try to run some sort of pit game that you can like easily pass off in and out, like with your other secondary player, which is, you know, that he might be thinking like, oh, I have outside leverage, but like if the guy just runs like a slight like glance route and like he immediately just gets that inside window on you, then it doesn't matter how much help you have. It's like a 5-yard throw. Just
he got cooked right to the inside. He got cooked.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like, you know, that's going to happen from time to time. You know, maybe they saw something that made them think they were going fade, and he's playing a little bit outside leverage to watch the fade, and they cut it straight inside on the slant. You know, stuff like that is going to happen. Yeah, but you know, I think there was a couple places to lay a little bit of blame there, but just wasn't a good play on that particular snap by the defense.
Yeah. Just obviously unopportune on the it being a 4th down and whatnot. But either way, you hold Nebraska to 20 points. You are on the field for
40 minutes and only give up 20 points. Is incredible.
Right, exactly. And I, you know, teams are going to rack up yardage when they're on the field that often. So, you know, a lot of the yards, sure, you want to say you gave up a 100-yard rusher, over 250 yards passing, a bad day defensively. But no, overall it was a solid, like Aaron was saying, good, not great. Could have been great. Could have been the reason they won. But sadly they lost, which is why we're going to bring up the reason why they lost. Aaron, you have anything to add in real fast? Or?
Well, I just want to go back to where you were talking about Dylan Raiola being your words, not mine. Pretty damn good. I thought he was just a game manager. I thought he screened well. I didn't see him. He didn't go downfield much really at all. Most of his stuff was just short. He had guys that caught the ball, could get open, and he found them. But I don't think he was great. I
think he just did his job.
He took what the defense gave him. They were giving him short, quick, underneath stuff, and he took it over and over and over. Yeah, it's what we've talked about. We didn't want the Cincinnati offense to be, right? 14 plays, 7 minutes, 13 plays, 8.5 minutes. Like there was no explosion to anything Nebraska really did.
No,
everything was within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. It felt like the entire game, which kudos on them. But if Cincinnati's offense is even remotely competent, I think they win the game.
Yes. Yeah, but also the scenario then becomes, okay, if Cincinnati does have a little bit of, you know, consistency offensively and they do score, then is Nebraska forced to go a little bit more? Like, I mean, they never had to force the issue. I mean, you're right. The script, and he did damn well doing it. I mean, yeah, he didn't like throw for 500 yards and have 7 touchdowns, but I mean, he had 270 plus yards and 2 touchdowns and only had 10 incompletions on 40 pass attempts. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But yeah.
And you were an outside shoulder away from losing. So meh.
Well,
you just hate Dylan Raiola.
Yes.
You do.
So do you.
I got yelled at for that. I got yelled at for that on Twitter. You said I fucking hate that guy, and I got yelled at for it.
I didn't
fucking
say
hate
that.
that guy too.
You said that.
okay.
You said that. I didn't say that.
I do fucking hate that guy.
Yeah. But
not for anything on the field. To clarify for that guy, I don't hate him for anything on the field.
Just
I
a
hate
weirdo.
him that he does everything in his power to act like Patrick Mahomes, and then has the gall to go on like podcast interviews and go, I just hate it when people compare me to Patrick Mahomes. Get the fuck out of here.
That's
That's what I hate about that guy.
Yeah.
He's a fine football player. I don't hate his ability on the football field.
right.
If you're going to act like Patrick Mahomes and want to be Patrick Mahomes, don't cry like a baby when people go, oh, you're little baby Patrick Mahomes. That your whole personality is I'm baby Patrick Mahomes.
Mhm.
Own that shit.
So it's weird
Rant
behavior.
over.
It's
Weird
all
behavior.
It's all weird.
Very
behavior.
weird behavior.
You know what would make him like not good, Aaron, is if he had 2 turnovers accounted for, one being an interception and one being a fumble recovered by Cincinnati. Then I'd be like, you know what, he kind of sucked. But those 2 plays did not happen. But yeah, let's go to the offense. Let's just start with Sorsby. We have to. The one thing that leading up into the kickoff on Thursday. Last year, if you remember, like a lot of the pregame talk was about how strong the offensive line was, how awesome of a season Corey Kiner is going to have, how it's going to be like this, that, and the other. And they're like, okay, we like Sorsby. He's coming over from Indiana. He's going to be an upgrade on Emory Jones and whatnot. But the spotlight was not really on Sorsby himself. This offseason, leading up to kickoff, it was all Sorsby. He was the guy who revealed the uniform. He was on all these, podcasts and interviews and videos that the team put out. It was a lot about Sorsby. Jim Rome has Satterfield on. He talks about Sorsby a lot. 69 passing yards. 34 passing yards on that final drive. So we had 35 passing yards going into the final drive. 69 passing yards, first off, very nice. Second off, tied for third lowest passing yardage total in the entire country this past week. Only Iowa and Rice had lower passing yards. Iowa had 48 on 16 passing attempts. Rice had 45 yards on 9 passing attempts.
What did he have, 19?
He had 25 pass attempts.
Okay.
Ryan, he ran the football damn well. He showed some real trying to get the ball into the end zone any way possible on those 2 scoring drives. You can't fault him for that because he was laying it out there on the line with his legs for sure. But golly, man, it seems like it's a lot of screen passes, a lot of short patterns that like you hope evolve into something. You watch all these other games around the country, and it seems like teams can throw the ball 10 yards pretty easily, can throw the ball 15 yards pretty easily. What is it, Ryan? I mean, was it just good defensive backs for Nebraska? Was it just?
I thought Nebraska played good defense, and I also thought there were a couple drops in there that would have added some chunks. But I also like play selection, because I don't really feel like Sorsby like went out there and was just like missing throws, and he was just like the reason for the offense being bad. If we call a play and Nebraska has a good coverage for it, and I thought they had the right play call against us a good amount of times. And if that comes on third down, like it was coming a lot, and we're getting off the field and we only have the ball for 20 total minutes, it's not like there's not a lot of opportunities for him. And I don't think he like went out there and blew opportunities. I think there were times where guys, didn't catch the ball for him on a couple, but they didn't like end up like, we still ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive where Cyrus Allen dropped the ball in the end zone. But I mean, obviously the stat line looks terrible. but I don't think he played terrible. I think his legs and displaying that once again, that side of his game, I thought that was a really big positive. But like my biggest gripe was I don't think that we need to have our third string running back ever come into the game unless
or
someone's
fourth
hurt.
string.
Yeah. I think this team needs to be a Tawi, Evan Pryor only. They need to run the ball.
I mean, they could do that
If they're
against Bowling
tired-
Green and Northwestern State.
Yeah.
Well, if they're tired and you've been running those guys to death,
Right.
I get it. But you're overthinking it if we're seeing Chance Williams and Manny Covey just because it was
at the beginning of drives. At the beginning of drives. Yeah.
Right. Like,
hindsight 2020. Yeah. Go ahead,
this is
Chad.
Manny's drive. No, it's not. Put Evan Pryor or put Tyree Walker back in there. Tyree Walker looked awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, Evan Pryor's cut on the first drive, I was like, here we go.
Dude, I tweeted right away. I was like, he's looking shifty out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, so both of them had a lot of yards per carry. But they only carried it, what, 7 and 6 times?
12 total.
12 total between the two of them. And it's not like they had like 1 or 2 big gains, and that's the reason why their yards per carry are up there. No, they consistently picked up good yardage. I don't know.
Here's something to consider that I haven't heard talked about yet. So, one, Satterfield is good with the script. Like that first drive, if they don't get the false start,
yeah,
like I think that is going to end up at least a successful drive. But they flip field position. They pinned TCU back. TCU punts. Cincinnati gets it in good field position. TCU scores. Then the kickoff out of bounds, and it started at the 35. So the first 3 drives were at the 28, the 35, and the 35. Okay, all pretty good starting field position. From there on out, the 25, the 9, the 25, the turnover on downs in the third quarter, which they got it at their own 43, and then the 14, the 25, and the 9.
Why'd you
say
TCU?
In terms,
Why'd you say TCU repeatedly?
Oh, I don't know. TCU's, they just got a pick 6, so it was probably on my brain.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Nebraska, not TCU.
Nebraska, yes. But Cincinnati was in disadvantageous field position outside of one drive from the start of the second quarter to the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that a lot is the 3 and outs and not consistently. Like we talked about this a couple weeks ago coming into the season. What they need to do is more of like what we saw on the first drive. You get it at the 28, you move it, it's out to the 40.
Yeah.
Drive stalls out, whatever, but you punt and you force them into a bad position. And then when you get it back, you get it in pretty good field position. Your defense holds, you do a good job. You're winning the field position battle against them. But they just couldn't, the offense couldn't sustain enough for 3 and outs. One was a 4 and out because they went for it on 4th down. But 4 3 and outs in a game, I mean, how many possessions did they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one doesn't count. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 possessions. Almost half of your possessions were 3 and out.
And is that second quarter too? Like that second quarter was
brutal.
Yeah.
3 and outs in the second quarter.
And guess what the defense did? They didn't allow Nebraska to score until
the end.
That stupid, end of the half. Something goes on like for Cincinnati.
They did get a field goal. They did get the field goal.
Right. I meant like touchdowns, but I don't know. So we talked about Jeff Caldwell a lot this offseason. We talked about Caleb Goody a lot. We talked about Noah Jennings a lot. We talked about these big additions and having the speed and ability to get open and make big plays. And I mean, until the fourth quarter, Taylor Swift had the same amount of catches as Jeff Caldwell did. It was just like, I don't know. I want to see some sort of.
He's not a deep ball guy. I'm just going to say it straight up. He is not a run the go route, deep ball guy. He is a drag, cross, use his big body, get a little separation, and make a catch over the middle of the field type guy. He is, for all of his speed and his size, we didn't really see at camp him going up and catching contested 50-50 balls, making a lot of plays like down the sideline. Yeah, there were a couple times where he beat a defender and he's running free and you throw it to him open, but he's not a contested catch guy. I have not seen him be a contested catch guy yet.
And can Joe Royer run can we send him on a route that goes 5 to 10 yards down the field and throw it to him there? I don't know. It's just it seemed like maybe play calling or the passing game attack was interesting, but I mean running the football, you gotta figure out ways to get Tawi and Pryor more carries. And you know what, that whole superlative thing that we did a couple weeks ago, guys, the total rushes, the total yards, and the total rushing touchdowns is looking pretty Sorsby right now. It's looking pretty Sorsby, but yeah, I don't know. Ryan, end of the first half. Is it just is it voodoo? Is it did we go down to Tulane and win too many times there to the point where they just put a little magic on us and they won the last game in Nippert of the Fickle era, and now they've got voodoo on us for end of the first half? Because yes, the fumble was one thing. Then they have to punt it, so obviously bad scenario. Then it's the questionable, spot.
Why you're throwing a shallow crosser with a minute left in the first half, like backed up in your own 15-yard line,
and leading your receiver into a defender's face.
He got destroyed there. I mean, at this point, is it just like, I don't know. You had to be hitting yourself, Ryan, when that end of the first half was going on.
Yeah, it just that felt that at the fumble right there. I was like, all right, let's pack it up. I don't feel like we can win this game. It just because it felt like the offense. Chad, you're so right about Scott being great with the script. What Chad means is there's some teams do 11, some
plays,
teams do 15 that they have scripted out. They're just going to call it unless they just see something. They're just going to call those plays all based on prep, all based on scout, and they're just going to roll with it. And then they're going to call the next calls are going to come off of how they felt those went.
The script was pretty good.
Script is always pretty good. It's about, because it's not like the defense is going to ebb and flow with you. It's not like they're just like, well, yeah. I mean, they're running that run concept really well, or that pass concept really well, or they seem to be favoring these tendencies. So, we're just going to stick with what they're going to move around and try to feel out Scott and the players too. And it just seems like we get figured out way quicker, or we get figured out and stay figured out.
Yeah.
But it's hard because it's game one. We don't know, like, these receivers are supposed to be better. We know Nebraska has guys that have experience and that they were going to be good, and we know that they played well. All we know is that, these guys are supposed to be better than last year, and they looked good in camp going against, some of the time they're going against their starters. Other times they're going against backups. And we're not going to know how, this is going to have to be an evolving thing, come next week, then the week after, to try to figure out, like, how much talent do we really have in that receiver room? And do we need to start thinking about, hey, let's run the ball, 30 times a game and look to pass 15 to 20. And play to our strength. But, it's hard to just go out on a limb and say that right now because we don't know Nebraska, how good they're going to end up being. We don't know everything yet.
We know their secondary is really good. Those guys are all veterans. We know their secondary is really good. We know, especially as a defensive coordinator and just from kind of cursory going back and looking at it. Like, it looked like they did disguise coverage really well. They did a good job keeping Sorsby guessing
That pick was
far
a
more
great
often
call
than
by
not.
them.
Yeah,
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
It's just, we don't know exactly what the foils of the passing game are, but it's much like the problem with all of this, though. It just looked too damn familiar. You go and you look at like the analytics and the percentages that each team should have won the game. Once again, Cincinnati loses a game where they should have had a decided
statistically
advantage to win the game. It was like 64% Cincinnati should have won that game.
Yep.
36% Nebraska should have won that game. That's the number on paper. Like that's what the machine spit out. And guess what? It spit it out a bunch of times last year. It spit it out through the final 5 games that this team couldn't pass the ball. And they open up the season and they can't pass the ball. It spit it out that they probably should have ran more a bunch of times last year.
Yeah.
And this year, they probably should have ran more. Now, but it's a chicken or egg thing here, right? They should have ran more. Well, they couldn't run more because they didn't convert enough third downs to run more plays, to run the football more. Well, then you run the football more at the beginning of the drives, and you set the tone for the drive, and you get a first down or two. And then maybe that opens up the pass. But whatever it is that they did isn't working enough. And it looks on paper a lot like last year for game 1. Now, is that a reason to overreact and the season's dead and da-da-da? No, it's not. There's a lot of time to go. But the problem is all you can go by is what you see. And what we saw was a game that looked a whole hell of a lot like the last 5 games of last season.
Yeah. Which is why, it's like, I don't know. I
think it was slightly better though, Chad. That's what I was talking about at the beginning, because they didn't go out and just lose, and then they also said, "Fuck it, like let's go take a run at this thing in the 4th quarter." And if it wasn't for that great play by the defender, or hey Sorsby, throw it more to the outside shoulder in this situation, like I think we're going to kick that field goal to go into overtime, and then we're looking at I don't think we were going to. We didn't have that last year when we were playing against was that TCU in the snow?
Yeah,
that late in the year last year,
was
where we were
game where the opponent scored 20 points and you lost.
Yeah, but I felt like we were more competent this year in making a run at going to try to win the game.
Yeah,
slightly,
sure,
but not nearly
Ryan,
not nearly enough.
But Ryan, like what matters is the W's and L's.
Yeah, 100%.
Like what matters is getting out of the game with a win in your record book. And they haven't been able to do it. And that's why I'm saying it just feels like, yes, there's some of it that, Ryan, here's my fear. You know what looks different on the end that you're talking about? What we talked about throughout camp. This is a team that has better players. The players on this team are better than the players on the team last year. So it's going to look a little bit different in terms of how you get to the finish line. But if you keep getting to the finish line and the other guy breaks the tape first, then it doesn't matter that you had better players. It doesn't matter that you were in a little bit better position to win and you didn't get there. Like this team's 2-7 and 1-score games, 2-9 and 1-score games, whatever it is, the past 2 years in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be that team that's always the bridesmaid and never the bride. And right now they are. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah,
I agree with you completely. I'm just saying none of it matters if you don't win.
Right.
Yes.
What? Right. Like if say that last pass is to the outside shoulder, it is a little bit overthrown, and Goody does that miraculous run underneath and catch it thing, and all of a sudden it's a win. Then we are talking about this game in a different light, but we're going to also digest it and be like, Sorsby had 97 yards passing and that touchdown. Like, what is going on with this passing offense still? yeah, in the end, it's a loss. So you look back at last year where he only threw for 60 yards against Iowa State, and it's like, what is the core behind it all? And
here's the thing, Brett. It can't be the other team has a good secondary, so we can't pass the ball.
Right. Well, which is what we heard numerous times in post-game press conferences last year. It was
the other team's secondary. Well, did the other team hold everybody they played to 60 yards a game?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't. Or else they'd be the greatest, secondary in the history of
2021 Cincinnati
Bearcats. Exactly. Like it can't be. Oh well, that was just what they were good at. So we can't do it.
Yeah.
No, if you go look at those teams, they didn't give up a lot of yards, but they sure as hell gave up a lot more than 60, 69. Nice. Like it makes you want to run your head into a wall at times because you can't just throw up your hand. What, a team's good at run defense? So we can't run it. We're not going to run it good today.
Yeah. Let's talk about that last play because we're getting close to an hour in right now, and we still have to riff.
I want Ryan to describe it and see if he saw what I saw.
Last play of the game. Let me just set up the scenario. First off, it wasn't like a game management, Deion Sanders game management. Golly, that was rough. Go back and watch that Colorado game. Whew. But it was an end of the game scenario where 0 timeouts. You get a first down and 10. You're at your own, 34-yard line, I believe.
Yeah.
And you have been able to kind of get some good pass production to Sound throughout the drive. Sort of using his legs as well. Obviously under 2 minutes, you get a first down, clock stops. You are technically in field goal range, Chad, but would you feel pretty confident sending Resnick out there with a 50-yarder if they didn't pick up any yards at all?
I've seen him make a bunch from there, but I'm never confident sending a college kicker out to make one from 50. Yeah. Period. I hate playing for 3. I hate playing for 3 in that situation.
I'm saying you don't play for 3, but you also don't like. I'm okay with the shot, but you gotta put it in a spot where there's no chance that Hartsock gets it. But I guess obviously
only your guy can get it. Yeah.
Let me give Ryan what I saw and see if he agrees. They showed cover 1. Hartsock was in the slot, guarding the slot receiver. The ball is snapped. He runs straight back to center field because they were in cover 2. They showed cover 1 to Tampa. They show cover 1. They're in cover 2. He runs straight back. Goody runs a double move and smokes the outside corner. He is running free down the sidelines. I think Sorsby thought he read cover 1. He knows the safety's not going to be there. He sees Goody hit that double move, and he lets it go. But he missed that he ran straight back into cover 2 and he just edged it off, followed the ball, set the trap, and ran straight to the corner to pick it off. It was a great catch. Yeah. It was a great call by Nebraska's defensive coordinator. Sorsby got baited.
Yep.
Are all the other things true? Should he have done a better job knowing that the safety broke it off and ran to cover 2? Yeah. But there's a million things going through your brain, and I'm sure instantly you're in that situation. Your wideout is 4 steps clear of his DB, and your read was no safety on the right side of the field. Do I have
You're correct? You're
what
correct.
You saw as well?
Yeah.
Did he need to throw it here? We all can. He needed to do this a little better. He needed to do that a little better. I will give credit to Nebraska for disguising that defense, baiting Sorsby into that throw. Now, I don't think they told their corner to get cooked like a pound of bacon at a Waffle House.
He's allowed to get cooked past a certain yard mark because it's, hey, hold him like you have him for this window, and then that's when your
Our
safety
guys back there. Yeah.
But it's a little bit different in Tampa because, you're running a guy from the inside disguised. Like we run it with a linebacker, you run it with a nickel. Because it's supposed to be, like you said, like you're giving it, you can run a Tampa 2 out of different like disguises, but like you said, yeah, they had a one high disguise, and there's cover 2 beaters all the time. They call them hole shots. That window fluctuates when you're running Tampa 2 versus normal 2. And what I think really hurt Sorsby on that is like what you're saying, Chad, is when you run Tampa, your too high safety is coming from an unconventional spot. And Sorsby's probably thinking, hey, this is like, he knows we're taking it. It's a very obvious shot taking time in the game. It's, hey, we're going to go try to win the game. And we just strung a couple of first downs together. I mean, I think that's why I think Nebraska took the gamble too. They're like, we know they're going to try to take one. Let's give him something that is going to make him think he has it to give our guy the chance to go up and make a play, which is a gamble in and of itself. Cause Tampa is kind of a risky, because that it expands that hole that too high safety has to run and cover a lot more ground.
The middle of the field is going to be wide open because that safety is abandoning what they originally showed. So your slot guy essentially in that situation is wide open.
Yeah.
Because that safety just runs away from him. Now they're going to have somebody that's assigned to him, but you're going to have a period of time where like your slot guy is just free to do whatever the hell he wants, basically.
Yeah. It's still, after all that, great call, even better play. I mean, it's still not like, I'm sure Brandon will get asked about, did you know that they were in Tampa 2? Did you see him coming? If he says yes or no, the ball was still in a place that, like, it was still like 50-50 in a way. Yeah. So it's not like Brennan's fault.
I wonder if Goody was surprised. Like, I wonder if he read the same thing, and that's why we didn't see as much of a fight out of him, because he cooks his guy. He's running down the sideline free. I wonder at what point he saw that safety coming over. Because I thought he could have, if he was aware of it, he should have made a little bit better play on the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know, because he went up like this.
It seemed like he was kind of like going, like, initially he was heading towards the sideline, and then he like saw, once the pass is in the air, he like didn't reroute, but he had to like curl it back inside a little bit. And then, like you said, maybe he didn't see him, but it seemed like Goody was kind of in stride. Like, it wasn't like, a 50-50 ball where he like can turn around and then like jump up together. It did seem like it was like kind of bang bang. I don't know, Ryan. On that play, do you think, like, obviously Sorsby, if he could do it over again, no matter what, you put it on the outside, seeing that the corner is beat, so that there's no way at all anyone in the middle can come up and challenge it at all?
If he makes that read and recognizes cover 2, that ball should be a outside shoulder 15-yard hole shot.
Yeah.
And not a floated end zone. It shouldn't have been a touchdown type of throw. It would end up being like, hey, look, that's a 15-plus yak.
Put you in chip shot field goal range.
Yeah.
To tie, and then you've got a shot or two at the end zone.
You'd be out of bounds.
The 15-yard line.
Yeah, with like 28 seconds left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the bummer on that play is you then, yet again, no pressure at all on Sorsby on that play. Like the nearest pass rusher was like, 3 or 4 yards away from him when he let that go.
Yeah.
Do you think if he waited another tick, Ryan, he might have been able to see him? Or do you think he saw that, oh man, Goody has his man beat, time to throw it up there?
Well, I think if he would have waited another tick, I mean,
he doesn't throw it there.
Yeah, because I think Goody would be like damn near running out the back of the end zone if he waited another second.
Yeah.
But I think if he waited another second, he would have saw the white jersey flashing, like right screaming down over at him.
Yeah. Because he did have Cyrus and Caldwell open on the left side, which I mean, it is what it is. We can keep going through it over and over again, but in the end, Nebraska made a damn good play. Hartzog made a damn good.
I mean,
interception.
You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
End of the Peach Bowl. The much talked about play at the end of the Peach Bowl where Dez saw a guy wide open, tried to make a play to flip it to him, and a guy from Georgia just came over and made a great play. A play that we'll talk about forever in Bearcat lore. But ultimately, a guy from the other, like maybe the quarterback didn't make the greatest decision in the world. You can talk about whatever.
Run the football.
I thought Cincinnati got exactly what they wanted on that play. I thought Dez did what he should have done on that play. If he would have ran it, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But they had a guy wide open to end the game, to ice the game. Game over. And a guy from Georgia comes screaming out of nowhere and makes the play. And I thought that's kind of what we saw there from Nebraska. The Nebraska guy made a play. And let's not sell the guy short. That was a miraculous one-handed catch as he was falling down in the end zone.
Yeah. Even if it bobbles and he drops it and it's just great pass breakup, then it's second down and 10 with,
from the 33-yard line with,
But, real quick, because we got to move on. Ryan, Aaron, thoughts on special teams? They seem special again. Max Fletcher is as advertised. The coverage unit was spectacular. Just anything more on special teams?
No,
they put the special back in special teams. They were no longer just teams.
Yeah, I agree. It's good to see that has been addressed. I think that'll definitely give this team more chances of winning coin flip games than it would have been.
A long punt return of last year. A long punt return of 3 yards. I'm here for that.
Yeah. How about Golday getting down there on one of those punts?
Yeah.
I love it.
And they were flying to the football.
Gunnar Golday has a nice ring to it.
Putting your studs out there, man. Gosh.
Probably what he should name his first kid, Gunnar Golday.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yep. Tawi Walker, I need more carries. Evan Pryor, need more carries, and that's it. That's
12
all.
is not enough.
2017 final score, rough. 0-1 record. Let's timestamp. Let's riff. Let's mailbag.
Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next-day deliveries. They provide a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick, 513-470-2029, and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom, baby. We're here.
Let's do it.
It's time to riff. And for the record, I think Sorsby's going to bounce back against Bowling Green. 300.
He better.
He
better.
Lock it in. Take the overs.
Like I said, I didn't think he did. I don't think he went out there and killed us. I just don't think we didn't make better play calls. And I think I liked his ability of bringing his legs out and having that be a factor. But I don't know how much power and say they give him in play calling, but you can only call the play and then you have to run it, and then you can't just throw just because you're throwing the ball doesn't mean your receiver is going to be open. So he can't.
Well, let's riff.
Gotta see.
Let's get her done.
All right. First question: what would you like to have seen the amount of running back carries to be last game? And what do you want that number to sit at in the future Big 12 play?
As well as they were running it, I would
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as well as they were running it, I would have loved it to have been at least in the 20 to 25. I think that's probably the sweet spot. But with the way they were running it and the way that the passing game was really working out, I would have been totally okay with 30 times.
Yeah. Chad?
Right. 25 is those two guys should have a minimum of 25 combined carries. Minimum.
Yeah, Nebraska's running back, his name's escaping me right now. Elijah Johnson.
Yeah,
right?
Elijah Johnson.
Yeah.
26, 27 carries.
He had 25 carries. And it's not like he had some good attempts, but he wasn't just dominating. Along with 16. I wanted to obviously it's different because of the time of possession was just but
that's because you didn't. That's also can be because you didn't run the ball and get first downs.
I agree completely. But you take out the 1 carry for 5 yards and the 1 carry for 1 yard, and I do think Chance Williams, I do think Manny Covey could have like really strong, moments as Bearcats. But in game 1, with those 2 running backs that you have that you've used the entire offseason of really getting ready and prepared to go out there and win that, you can't have those possessions. That should have been at least another carry for Tawi and at least another carry for Pryor. So yeah, I'm right there at that 25 number, sweet spot for the 2 of them, because those 2 can keep each other fresh. Like you don't need to have multiple people to. But 25 would be where I would be at as well, because I still do want Sorsby to be throwing the ball, and he needs to get his legs going too. So, but 25 does seem like the sweet spot.
All right, who do you want to be the starting running back for?
Just real quick, okay. I will say part of the problem also on the first 2 3 and outs, they ran for 1 yard on first down. Passed incomplete on second down. You're dealing with 3rd and 9. Like, are you really? You're really going to run maybe if they get 4 or 5 yards on those first down carries, they feel a little bit better. They had not established the run at that point in the game,
or run it on 2nd and 9.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not a logic.
Well, they ran that's when they ran the screenplay to Covey that was incomplete.
I also think they should remove the offset eye pistol from their call sheet.
So that is Satterfield's offense, Ryan.
But I don't. I think they line up in it like 5 times a game when they had like Gerb back there, and it just makes everything more difficult because you're putting Patrick Gerb further from the point of attack, further from doing any sort of play action passing concept.
They essentially created that offense, right, at Appalachian State.
I know.
So that is his baby.
And also, I thought we were done with the formations of having Royer back there as well. I just don't think that's using Royer in the right ways that he can be used.
I think there's creative ways you could use him in that spot, but they don't.
No, it's a handoff every damn time.
Right.
And he's a lead block. Like, it's just like,
okay. It didn't work last game, and I don't ever remember. The only time I ever like it is the 1 out of 10 times where they run some triple option motion action to it.
Yeah.
But they only do that 10% of the time they're in it. And so I don't know.
And I like it inside the 5 when Sorsby then follows the running back. The hole.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're not going to do that. But anyway, all right, go ahead, Roy.
Who do you want to see starting the game at running back next week?
I don't care. I think both of them are good. I don't care.
Dude, that one run by Pryor in that opening set of downs, boy, it's got me excited.
Like, damn. I did not expect that from him.
No.
I just think Tawi Walker's built like the bell cow. Like I expect him to get more carries, and I still feel like him getting more carries opens up Evan Pryor to do what he does best and be the lightning guy.
Here's what I would agree with you, Aaron. If I thought Cincinnati was going to lean on the run game, wear opponents down, like Mike Warren style,
I was just about to say, Chad.
If I thought that was going to be the plan of attack, then yeah, Tawi.
I think that
but I don't
should have been the plan of attack.
I mean, Dave said it Wednesday night. I'd run the ball at them 15 times in a row until they prove they can stop it.
Yep.
My dad, I was rewatching it with him today, and he's like, "Man, that Tawi Walker just reminds me a lot of Mike Warren. Just the way
He's
that
Mike Warren with muscles."
Yeah. But yeah, that was the
Warren
philosophy. Yeah. Mike Warren was a 20 to 25 times a game
minimum
in your face. Hey, fuck you, we're running the ball. He's getting 100 yards.
And that 14th carry will be the one that he busts for 45 yards.
Yeah. He's just going to wear you down. If I thought they were going to use Tawi Walker to wear the defense down, I would be with you 100%. I have no empirical evidence that is their plan of attack. Not when Chance Williams and Manny Covey are getting their own series.
Yeah.
In that particular game.
And we are not dogging them. We love all Bearcats, but that Manny Covey series was
Manny Covey 1 yard, incomplete,
and then incomplete
screen.
Yeah.
And then Sorsby incomplete to Caldwell.
Like it's Nebraska, week 1. You spend all summer. I don't know. It is what it is. All right, Royer. Who you got, Tawi?
Yeah. So I think we should shift a little bit more towards that. I would like to have him get the ball 18 times and Pryor 8 to 10, depending on how, the pass game's going, the opponent.
If the pass game stinks, I want Tawi to have it at least 20. and Pryor at least 10.
10 for Pryor and 13 for Source.
If you're running like that, though, doesn't that, by logic, open up the pass game?
Play action.
I mean, but Aaron, they didn't run it the way we think they did in the first half.
I understand. I'm just saying.
Let me ask real quick. What do you think the rushing stats were in the first half? How many rushes for how many yards?
I'd say the first half they probably rushed it. Sorsby hadn't really even taken off at that point. 9 times.
For how many yards?
50.
50.
At halftime, they had run it
12 times.
Was it 12 times? I was looking at the third quarter stats, not the halftime
12
stats.
times for...
In the second quarter, they ran it 5 times for 16 yards. And in the first quarter, they ran it 7 times for 45 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So 60 yards, 12. They got away from it in the second quarter, and the second quarter was an unmitigated disaster. So
correct.
You guys are right.
Yeah, I mean, golly. 4 passes for 4 yards in the third quarter, but that's when they got that one good drive. I don't know.
They're probably, Satterfield's probably thinking, we have this good quarterback. We have these weapons. Like, let's make some call. Yeah, and then we'll have to see what it looks like.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, got another one?
Yes. What would be the one wrinkle that you would suggest to Scott Satterfield to fix the offensive woes we're currently in? Could be simple. Run the damn ball, or
that's not a
anything
wrinkle. Staple.
Yeah.
Enough with the East-West. Enough going this way. Let's go that way. How many times in the first half of that game did we see Sorsby legitimately take the snap, drop back, put his eyes down the field, and try to throw the football? Everything was
Yeah.
That would be my thing. Like, that's my biggest issue with Satterfield as a play caller and an offensive coordinator. It's too cute. It's too cute. He's trying to outthink. No, just if you think you've got good players, you've got a good offensive line, you got a good quarterback, let your quarterback sit in the pocket and diagnose his guys running open. I don't think they do enough of that. I don't think we can judge. We always say like the receivers can't get open. How do we know there's no plays designed for the receivers to get open? We're doing all this east-west shit.
In that same vein, I would say you have to limit yourself to 3 gadget plays. It felt like there were so many gadget plays throughout the game, and you literally have to just dial that all the way back.
They really only ran 1 gadget play.
I don't know, man. It felt like they were doing one about every drive.
I mean, it's just all the screens.
Just running a screen's not a gadget play. It's a screen. Like the only gadget play really was the reverse that worked.
I understand the reverse works. Maybe it's the way that the screens were being ran.
They take forever.
I don't know.
You're playing Power 5 teams, Power 4 teams. You saw this, Ryan, when you guys moved up a level and you played Notre Dame or you played Nebraska or Georgia. That side-to-side stuff, it's non-existent when the other team is that fast. Like it just, you're not doing anything that's fooling them because their speed and athleticism is going to make up for it. I get what you're saying there, and it feels like a gadget. It's not a gadget play. It's just a poorly designed screen. It's a poorly designed tight end screen to Joe Royer or to Manny Covey. Like,
a lot of them came out of play action too. Yeah, and a lot of them came out of play action, and it's just like,
sleight of hand.
If you're going to run play action, then run play action, but find a guy for 5 yards so he can go make yak. I don't know, man. Just maybe that's the same fucking point that Chad's making. I don't know.
Play north-south.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Mine's kind of with the play north-south. Like, attempt passes down the field. Like, I don't like. I don't know. I just
is it only one? Caldwell, that Sorsby overthrew him a little bit when he tried to break through the double coverage,
and then they tried to get the one to Goody like right away.
Right.
That Sorsby underthrew, and if he leads that ball even a little bit, that's a big gain. Because if you look at it, Goody was running by the corner.
Right.
And then immediately had to slow up to try to make like a back shoulder type play. If he leads him out in front of him, I think Goody runs right past that corner.
Yeah, and we talk about we need explosive plays. We had 2 all game, and I think one was the long Sorsby run, and another one was I couldn't even tell you what the second one was. Maybe a Tawi carry, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was a Tawi run.
Do you think that that's on Sorsby being afraid to air the ball out based on what happened at the end of last season, or do you think that's on Satterfield?
No, it was
in play calling.
I think it's play. I think it's
not having the confidence in
calling.
Sorsby because of what happened at the end of last season.
I just think it's the play calling.
It was the Cyrus Allen reverse.
Oh, okay, yeah,
15 yards.
That play went 15 yards in the end zone.
Yeah,
would have been one.
That play went 15 yards. They didn't have a pass play over 14 yards. And Pryor had a 13-yard run.
Yeah.
2 plays, 15 plus yards.
That's
a recipe for a loss.
Yeah, I
TCU
mean,
has beaten North Carolina's brakes off.
You literally watch all these games in the country, and I don't think Nebraska is the best defense in the world.
They have a really good secondary.
Right.
Their defensive line was not good. I don't think their linebackers were good.
Defensive secondary in the country is what I'm trying to say.
No, I just think they're good. Like they're a really good veteran secondary. They have a really good coach that uses them in a variety of ways to accentuate their strengths.
Yeah.
But they're not great. They're, like you said, they're not the 2021 Cincinnati Bearcats.
Yeah.
And even then, we didn't hold that didn't mean Alabama just couldn't throw the ball.
They did.
They still found ways.
We're gonna big boy you guys.
Yeah, but they didn't. They had more than 70 passing yards.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, they didn't throw the ball at Sauce. Let me correct that.
Yeah.
Nick Saban said no. We're not doing that. I don't care if it's Jamison Williams or not. We're not throwing at one. Probably a good call, Coach.
What are you tweaking?
Alabama Jones?
I think we need to run the ball 10 times more a game, and I think that we need to find a way to like intermediate routes down the field, hole shots at the slot, dig routes coming in towards Sorsby in the pocket, not going out dinking around to the sideline.
Yeah.
That would be my I haven't seen Cincinnati run digs since Ben Bryant was the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's a long time now.
You know what? I watched the game again as well, and there was this route that Royer ran like probably 11 yards and just a quick in, and his defender just fell down. And I don't know if Sorsby's kind of told like, hey, this is your one, this is your primary receiver on this set play. Look at him. But like if he just glances over, he'll see Royer with his defender falling down to over the middle and pick up an additional 15 yards after that. I think instead that play was a pass out to the right that was caught and then taken down right away. I don't know. I need something with some yardage to it. Like, give me some air yards. I just seems like so many times it's just not even an option. And
yeah, north south, baby, north south. Use the middle of the field. Like I get bored at times over the summer, and you watch like these like coaching videos about route concepts and how things work now, and you're seeing coaches. You take the outside receiver with a slot and a tight end, and you run the slot guy deep, and you run the tight end on a corner route, and you bring that outside receiver over the middle of the field. And the safety has to react because there's two guys running at him deep, and you've got one-on-one coverage all alone in the middle of the field with your number one wide receiver. When do we see that here? Like, when do we see these simple understanding route concepts that create space and allow your guy to be open in a position for Sorsby to know, I've got to wait 2 seconds, and if I wait 2 seconds, this guy's going to be open for that 14 yards running across the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Where are those plays?
They aren't there.
Maybe that we might be discovering that like Brennan Sorsby might have a progression issue.
Yeah.
We know he can run. We know he's a good athlete. We know he can throw the ball well.
The frustrating part is, Ryan, like we saw it last year in the first 7 games. And then it just went away, and we've never seen it again.
No. Maybe it'll come back.
you think that they're showing him after you watch film, you're like, all right, this is what they were doing. They were giving you this look. Like, this is what we should have done. Because I feel like a lot of teams kind of picked a pretty good tell on us, and we couldn't seem to figure it out in any way, shape, or form the last 5 games of last year. And now going into this game, that's why we're on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah.
You think that there'd be some sort of like, I don't know, attempt at hey, let's look to do this. Like, Brennan, like, are you seeing this? Like, are you seeing like this progression concept? Or because if other teams are keep finding a way to shut down our receivers, there has to be some common theme here between like, what are they running? What are they calling? Are they disguising things? Like, hey, like, for example, they disguise cover 2 with a Tampa 2, where Brendan thinks it's 1, but it's really 2. Safety comes in. The one time we actually take a shot and it looks like it could work out, and it ends up being the perfect trap. So I don't know. We'll have to see how much this team can evolve.
Yeah. We'll see.
4 games under 200 yards last year, 1 game with 200, 1 game with 206. So that's half the season last year. It was at 200 yards or less passing. It is what it is. Did he
ever throw for less than 100 last year?
Yeah,
Iowa State, yeah.
66
yards. Because they had a great secondary, and we just can't. That's not possible to throw for 180 yards on a great secondary.
The crazy thing is you look at the stats, and yes, a lot of the Big 12 teams played, bad teams, and they were just drubbing teams. But, the second lowest passing yardage in this entire Big 12, which all these great quarterbacks and whatnot, was BYU. They threw for like 138 yards through the air, but guess what? They're number one in the country in rushing offense. So it's like, and yes, they played some trash team, but still, it's like everyone is figuring things out. But
they got to be better off. When the script ends, they can't look lost for 3 drives.
Yeah,
like the script was fine. The script was fine. They got a field goal out of it. They flip field position, use the flip field position to get a field goal.
Yeah.
Like you can work with that. But as soon as they were off the script, it was no man's land for a quarter.
Yeah.
We seem to have a creativity problem initially off the script.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's a plan, and then they know that the plan ends right around this moment, and there's always a lull evolving the plan, developing the plan on the fly, getting our guys open, getting the offense rolling, or not recognizing, hey, the run is working. So,
yeah.
Here's what it is.
They show that they could do it. They show that they could do it with those 15 plays. Those 15 plays are, hey, we studied this team. We know what to do. We are capable of developing a plan. It's just evaluating it and responding to the defense's response and sticking with the things that also work.
But like I said, the 2 drives in the second quarter, the first 2 drives in the second quarter, they ran on first down for 1 yard. And you're looking at second and 9 in both of those scenarios. They don't get anything on second down. I think one of them ends up after second down, like on third down, Gerhardt gets the false start from the center. Now you're at 3rd and 14. So 3rd and 9, 3rd and 14. Yeah, you're not gonna. It's very rare that you're going to complete those for first downs. Got to get better offensively. Have to figure out a way to not be stuck in the mud for extended periods of time. It's the equivalent of like the Aaron's favorite, like 4 or 5 minute scoring drought in basketball.
Don't even get me
All out
started.
of that.
Roy, you got that one last one, bro?
You know how we do it, Brad.
You know what, bro? You know what you did? You know what you did, bro? You texted me on Thursday before we kicked off. You were doing some advanced scouting on our next opponent, Bowling Green. Then you texted me again on Friday because you couldn't get over this one thing about Bowling Green. You texted me again on Saturday about it. And then yesterday you were sending me all these pictures and you were breaking down film and whatnot, not of the Bowling Green game, not what they were doing on the field, but of their new mascot, of their morale booster. One Pudge the cat. Their live animal on the sidelines. You see Pudge the cat, Royer? You sent it to me 100 times. And, it's quite simply an amazing thing. And you said this is the number one opponent that we look for next weekend. So then I was like,
Aaron, easy on the keys, buddy.
Oh, he's angry over there.
Holy cow.
But then I asked you the question. I said, is he your favorite live animal mascot of all time? Pudge the cat? And you said, I'm going to answer that on the VVP on Monday night. So here we are. Pudge the cat. Is he the greatest made-up live mascot of all time? In a year where Ralphie refuses to run, who's the greatest live animal mascot of all time?
Who had the squirrel? Did somebody have a squirrel, like the rally squirrel? It was a baseball team, and I think it would show up in the outfield and run around, and it became like their mascot. I'm going rally squirrel.
It's the Cardinals.
Oh, never mind. I hate the Cardinals.
Monkeys riding dogs is the best mascot I've ever seen. That's not even a mascot.
Well, yeah, nobody's used that as a mascot.
They should.
I agree. Monkeys riding dogs is amazing.
Yeah.
What Butler Blue? It's a good one. Ugga.
I love Bevo.
Yeah.
Big old bowl.
Didn't he got spooked by Ugga one year, and it was almost curtains for Ugga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugga almost. It was almost time to move on to the new Ugga.
Aaron and I took
at that point
with the big boar at Arkansas.
You did do that.
What was his name? I forget.
Big boar.
Boy, that sucker was massive, but just a big old hog, paws.
Didn't the Bengals used to have a real tiger that they put on the field?
Yeah, didn't
Aaron?
LSU did that too, and they got in trouble or something?
Yeah.
My answer is Lucille and also Lucy, but who are we?
Don't get them confused.
I said both of them. But Pudge the cat is pretty phenomenal. It's just like no damn affiliation. It's the long snapper's pet, and they just randomly, brought Pudge into the locker room one day, and now
to practice and
now Eddie George is like, this is our mascot. It's like, bro, you're the Falcons, man. You are not the Cats. Like, what are we doing here? But hey,
the Bengals had Benzu the tiger cub.
Oh,
in the 70s up through the 80s that they used from the zoo, and then the NFL banned live mascots on the field.
Probably smart.
The last UCF game I went to, they had like a mini horse, and it got away from the holder, and it was running all over the place.
Yeah,
like Oklahoma, like the horse
defecated.
Yeah, well, it ran off and like tilted the wagon.
Yeah,
at one point. Remember that?
It was SMU. They ran the pony, and it poo-pooed all over the field, and they had to take a time
Oklahoma
out.
had the one where they lost control of it, and it tilted the wagon, and everybody on the wagon like tumbled.
Yeah,
the mini horse did not want to be caught, and just it gave a fight to the trainer. The trainer was freaking out, running after this mini horse.
Well, mini horses are still like 600 pounds. Like they're not small animals.
And it did not want to be caught. The whole thing was hilarious. I was dying.
What about Sir Big Spur, South Carolina? The big gamecock out there, Sir Big Spur. I like that name. That's a good one. But yeah, Roy, yours is Pudge the cat, right?
Not next week. It's not.
Oh,
down with Pudge.
Shotzi would just walk around and take shits everywhere.
We'll tell that cat what's up.
Shotzi, no, don't do that.
Shotzi, come here. You gotta stop shitting on the field.
As Marge is out there smoking a cigarette on the field.
My kind of one. I met Marge a bunch of times. You go down and get her autograph at games.
Nothing about her was my kind of woman. No shot.
Horrible person, but horrible person. Keegan probably liked her.
All right. Well, let's timestamp. Let's get this mailbag open and shut.
Hi, Keegan. He'll get that joke. It's an inside joke. Sorry. Oh boy. You all right, Aaron?
Yep.
All right, that timestamp brought to you by Quick Paper Supply. They provide mostly disposable restaurant supplies, products like to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins. They've been open since 2009 and are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases. And look, guys, if you don't own a restaurant,
okay,
maybe you need something else.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need a car.
Oh,
and if you need a car, there's nobody better to go see than a regular in the chat, a active member of the Bearcats community online. One of our favorites, Cincy Greg Hooden. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram at Cincy Greg Hooden, CINCY, like normal people spell it, GREGHOODIN. He's at Beach Mountain Toyota. Come see him, ask for him. He'll get you taken care of. Buy a newer pre-owned Toyota from Greg. He's a great member of the Bearcat family. Like I said, go see him at Beachmont Toyota. As for Greg, when you stop in, that's him. He's right there.
There he is.
Yeah.
Shouts to Greg.
Greg, you got any deals going on right now? What do you got in the deals department right now?
Some deals on wheels, baby.
Aaron, while Greg types, let's get this thing started.
Let's get after it. All right. Starting out in the football portion of the Greg Hooden mailbag, as we always do. After watching week 1 and seeing some of the top teams in the sport struggle offensively on the road, like Texas, Alabama, LSU, are you less worried about UC's offensive struggles against Nebraska?
No.
No, because it seems like it's a repeat.
Yeah, no. I think you also have to look at who those top teams in the country struggled against on the road. I think
I'm not gonna do the thing where we say Nebraska wasn't good. I think they're fine. They're a good team.
yes.
I don't think they're a great team.
Right.
I don't think
All those
Cincinnati's a great team. So I think you saw 2 pretty even teams. That's what Ryan and I were discussing at the beginning of the show. But it's just that it felt like second verse, same as the first. Like it felt like we watched this TV show last year, and I didn't like it then, and I don't want to watch another season. I want to see a new show. I don't want to watch the same show over again.
All of those other teams put up over 100 passing yards. All of them. And on 25 attempts. Woof.
Yeah.
All right. With it being such a crucial year for Coach Scott Satterfield and UC football, if the offensive struggles / play calling frustrations continue, do you think something would change? I know it is extremely rare for a head coach to give up play calling, but if it means success for UC and the team, do you think it's an option should the insanity continue? Obviously not ideal midseason.
I don't think so. I don't think it will change.
Yeah, I don't.
Scott
I don't think
Satterfield is the
any
head
chance.
coach. He's been the play caller pretty much, I believe, for every play he's ever been a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see that changing. By the way, $500 college grad rebate on all new Toyotas up to 2 years after graduation and good for grad students. There you go, Greg. Thank you. Go ahead, Aaron.
I'd say it's a little deeper than even that. First off, if you're going to put your career at a school in someone else's hands, that's crazy talk, I would think.
The only way that happens is if the AD comes up to you and says,
you're done.
You have 2 options. You can hire somebody to call plays, or you can resume your career somewhere else after this conversation.
Number 2, I'm not sure who on staff you would even ask to call plays if it's not Scott Satterfield. I don't know who you would elevate into that role.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All right. Would you say the offense had more success in the second half was due to Nebraska playing prevent or because we actually made adjustments?
Nebraska was not playing prevent. Ryan, you watched it again today. I've watched bits and pieces. They were in press. Like, they were man up at the line of scrimmage the large majority of that game. They did not drop back. Even on that last drive where Cincinnati's trying to get down the field, they were not playing off. Like, they were up in the wide receivers' faces most of the time. So I don't think they played back. I think Cincinnati just ran tempo, did a better job at executing. And I kind of decided Cyrus Allen is our guy that's going to get open. So we're going to let Cyrus run his route and throw it to him.
I agree.
They played a lot of they were up a lot, Ryan. Did you see the same thing I did?
Yeah. And then they disguised it well by putting a guy up and appearing to be a cover 1 man, Tampa 2. So they're smart.
When's the last time UC squad threw for under 100 yards? Last year. P. Crowley.
Iowa State.
Last year.
Yep.
A year ago. 66.
I feel like we didn't blitz more than 4 rushers that often versus Nebraska, but when we did, we caused havoc. Do you think we will see more blitzing than last year with this first sample size? I don't think we will see much these next 2 games, though.
Probably. I think they think they have a better secondary. So I think you can be a little bit more exotic. I mean, part of the problem last year we talked about ad nauseum. They didn't trust the secondary. They were dropping 8. They were rushing 3 and dropping 8, sometimes rushing 4, dropping 7. But for the most part, they did not trust the secondary that they had. They ran a lot of zone. And I think this year they feel a little bit better about the secondary. I think they're still going to run a ton of zone. It's what this defense calls for. But I do think you're going to see 4 and 5. I even saw once or twice, Ryan, that they'd sent 6 once or twice.
I like when they send 6, man. I think you should either do 5 or 6. Don't even bother with the 4. If you're going to do the 4, bring the guy up on the line of scrimmage, just have him drop out.
3rd and Tenuta.
I love when they do a mug, at least overload a side. I think like that 6 looks on. If you really want to fuck with the quarterback, send 6 on 5, because that running back has to come somewhere and pick up that 6 guy. And then it's just 5. It's
6 on 6.
6 on
all
6.
Man up. You just need one guy to win. One guy to win.
And you know who wins more often than not is Jake Golday. I mean, I think the more that you can use him in certain blitz packages, I think the better. I think Dingle does a good job of like occupying space and occupying defenders. I think Golday is a dude that can get to the quarterback.
Yeah. This is a bloodbath, boys. Bloodbath.
I'm hearing that like yes, UNC looks like shit, but maybe TCU might be pretty damn good. Yeah.
They just scooped and scored. It's their second defensive touchdown of the game. It's now 40-7. Soon to be 41-7.
Could have just fallen on it. All right. What conference would this wide receiver room be a top quarter unit?
I don't.
We don't have enough info.
Yeah.
We don't have enough info yet.
All right. I know everyone was saying don't overreact to one game, but I don't see it as overreacting when it's another data point that correlates to a single narrative. Questions. 1, has the Nebraska game not necessarily the outcome, but everything we saw change your predictions for this season? 2, is Sorsby a bad passer? Did we pick bad wide receivers again? Is the coaching plan the problem for passing or something else? And 3, are there any reasons to hope that the passing attack will be good enough to help this team have a season we all don't hate?
I would say it doesn't really change anything for me. I predicted a close loss to Nebraska. What did I say? Nebraska would be up. Cincinnati would be driving to put themselves in a position to win and would come up short. So the game essentially went exactly as I predicted it. It doesn't change anything in terms of what I think is possible for the season. It is concerning that it looked a lot like last year. Maybe a little less like last year, like Ryan and I talked about earlier, but still too much like last year, where the other team made the game-changing plays. Cincinnati had opportunities to make the game-changing plays. They didn't. The other team did. And in the end, the result is a 1-score loss that, sure, you can find silver linings, but silver linings aren't gonna make this fan base happy right now. Silver linings aren't fixing anything.
No.
Ifs and buts were coconuts or something like that. All right, is Scott Satterfield's what about him? Is Scott Satterfield's offensive scheme as predictable as it seems? We have heard it's been a lack of talented players, but it seems like the passing game is majority east-west throws instead of downfield and or over the middle.
Royer, what do you think?
Ryan touched on it.
I think we have better players this year. I think we are going to find out by week 4 how truly good they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
And
that
that'll
Kansas game is
correlate
going to be
to
telling.
middle of the field, downfield.
Yeah, you can't put much stock into the Bowling Green game in Northwestern State. I think that Kansas game will be very telling to how things are going, especially if you start to get that connection, in-game connection with Sorsby and the new receivers even more. But I don't know. I just throw the ball 10 plus yards, please.
Please.
Pretty please.
That ends the football portion of the Greg Hooden mailbag. Moving into the basketball portion. There's not much here, but there is something. UC basketball announced they will be celebrating their 125th season this upcoming season. With that being said, what is your guys' favorite UC basketball moment of all time?
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Of all time.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Oh boy. I'll go low hanging fruit. Melvin Levitt, Alaska shootout,
From the
dunk to beat Duke. That they still almost lost because Trajan Langdon almost hit a 3/4 court shot to
He did hit it, but
he did hit it, but it was late. Yeah. I'll go the Mel dunk in Alaska.
Kind of like that UConn 3, except they called that one anyway.
2 dribbles and 15 feet covered in 0.8 of a second. My ass.
Favorite UC basketball moment of all time. I mean, anytime that they wanted the cross down is pretty spectacular.
Jaron going nuts, big boy in.
That game was awesome. That was an unbelievable game, especially because I was sitting. My seats were right in the midst of all these Xavier fans, and that whole first half they were just laying into me, like cheering in my face.
Yeah. Blewett scored 40 in the first half.
Right. And then that second half, I was just yelling right at them. I don't know. I remember as a kid going to the games and looking up at the noise meter. I always loved that when it was just rocking the old Shoemaker Center. The Tony Bobbitt year where he was hitting a bunch of game winners and huge shots. I fell in love with Bobbitt, and I was like, I love you, Bobbitt. Man, there's too many good moments to pin it down to one. Every Kenyon Martin game, I had a birthday party where everyone came over, and on a piece of paper, I mean, we're all young, we're 10 years old at this point, but on a piece of paper, we all had to write down our guesses for points, rebounds, and blocks that Kenyon Martin would have, and whoever got the closest would won a prize. And God, I loved him. I mean, there's a lot. All of the above.
The Trey Scott game winner against
Senior Day Temple.
Yeah, that was
my favorite.
That was incredible.
That game sucked, though. Oh, that was just
that's all I really know.
That's for the moment, not the game. That's a moment.
The Troy Copain layup against Purdue.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was a good one.
We need to have more memories, damn it.
Steve Logan outscoring Southern Miss.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was crazy.
I mean, Eric Hicks, triple
double with the concussion and not remembering the entire second half.
I mean, I just love the Bearcats, man.
Any one of Justin Jackson's mean mugs?
Oh, I think I told this story on here. Maybe these people, this group of people hasn't heard it. So there used to be where the TV announce. I don't know if you've heard this one, Ryan. I don't know if where the TV announce table is now across from the benches. There used to be 2 tables there instead of 1, and that's where I sat. I sat in the end, the end seat that connected to the ESPN table. And there's the 2 announcers, and then they'll have a spotter producer sitting there with them. So Justin Jackson comes flying for a loose ball and comes right in between me and this lady that's producing the TV broadcast. And like, I knew when I saw Justin running, I was like, I'm out. And she did not know. And she got knocked down. And so Justin gets up, jumps back over, and we're helping her up. And she is like, am I bleeding? And I was like, oh no, honey, that's not blood. That's Justin. Sweat.
It's DNA.
All over your body. And she literally was like, I think I'd rather be bleeding. I mean, he just slimed like Ghostbusters, just slimed her all the way down half of her body.
It's that scene from Along Came Polly.
Yeah. Calm down, Royer. Calm down.
All right.
That one game at Louisville, because obviously Louisville's back on the schedule this year, but that one game,
the SK game,
game with those dunks in the beginning of the game with Shaq Thomas, and
they got up by 19, then Louisville went on an 18-0 run, and then Cincinnati held on to win.
You know what was a sneaky great game was the game at against Houston at NKU when they were playing the home games off-site. They were down like 15-17, and then like literally had like one of the best
2 minutes.
One of the best stretches to end the first half, and then Jake banked in a 3 at the buzzer at the end of the half, and I was like, whoa, we are unreal. That was fun.
That was also the year that Greg Marshall's wife and daughter got kicked out and were told never to come back to Cincinnati.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Find me at a bar. Ask for that story.
There we go.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
And
Ryan, I ever told you that story?
No.
The last question from the basketball mailbag.
After the show.
Did McKinley get injured again?
I think it was a picture of either from when the injury happened or it was him like getting rehab. I asked today and was told he's fine.
Very good. That ends the basketball portion of the Greg Hooden mailbag. There is no baseball questions. I don't know. Did we talk at all about Bishop getting extended here?
Let's do it real fast. Big congrats. Much deserved. We love Mr. Bishop. Big coach, baby. JB.
Locked in
Friend
for
of the show.
31, I think.
Got to get him back on the pod again soon. Man, it's just fun chopping it up with
Mountain
him.
Dew.
Yeah,
I'll take him a case of Diet Mountain Dew. I'm good with that.
He needs a sponsorship.
He does.
And then the banks. We got 2 questions in the banks. How perfect was Corso's ending? Can you think of any comparable send-offs?
It was amazing, Merc. It was amazing. I loved it. I cried.
I mean, the amazing part is he got every pick right.
Every single pick. Andy,
if you'd have put $100 parlay on Corso's picks, you would have won $10,000.
More than that.
And every team he ever coached, right?
Yeah.
Every team he ever coached also won.
Yeah, coach or played for. Yeah.
You could tell it was time though.
Yeah,
even more so when he tried talking. I was like, dang.
It was the end. I'm glad that they let it go out on the note that they did.
Yeah, and golly, dude, I like Herb Street is what he is. I honestly really like Kirk Herbstreit, and like God, you could just see him getting emotional at the end there. And I mean, and it is crazy to think about. Like Lee has been doing that ever since I can remember liking college football, and it's just.
And he also had a 25-year coaching career where he was a really, really good head coach.
Yeah. But it was an awesome send off, and I cried when it was when they had him out on the field and they did the whole over the loudspeaker thing and whatnot. It was a great send off. Any comparable send offs? I don't know. It's
Derek Jeter, last game at Yankee Stadium, walk off, tipping the cap.
Yeah.
Yankees fan. Yeah, Lee's the man.
That was awesome.
Was.
And the last question in the mailbag. In light of the Portnoy/Fox/Ohio State shenanigans over the weekend, if you had the power to ban one person from Nippert or UC's campus, who would it be?
I'm not going to say it on the air because it would get
I
me
know
in
who.
trouble.
I know.
It'll get me in trouble. I'm not, but the real answer, nobody, because we're not soft like the team from Columbus.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad. It was bad enough that you tried to put legislation out there to not be able to plant flags on your turf field, which you can't do anyway.
Yeah.
And then you tried to put legislation through to not have noon kickoffs or noon games anymore because that's
corny. Just corny
that's too
shit.
much for you.
I
And now we're not allowing Dave Portnoy in because he's a fan of your rival.
Which is exactly what Dave Portnoy
yeah, I was
wanted.
gonna say
That's how
it,
dumb
it,
they
it
are.
literally fuels exactly what his
Yeah.
MO is. And it's
What are
only
we
gonna
doing?
make like that better for them. And
Stupid.
I mean, Portnoy's on top of the world. The man. The man knows what he's doing. And Ohio State's just feeding into it. Which also just shows like Ohio State, they still are getting spooked by Michigan this far away. I mean, they just can't.
You won a
figure it out.
championship.
I know. It's like okay.
Talked to a lot of people in Columbus that are huge Buckeye fans. They said it didn't even feel right because they lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the whole thing that we were
Could
talking
you
about.
imagine UC wins the championship in basketball in a year where they lost to Xavier and everybody would be like, oh, no, it's just out of here.
Boy, I'd be on cloud 9. Cloud
Yep.
fucking 9. All right.
Yeah, their
That's the
athletic
mailbag.
center is named for a guy who punched a player on the other team during a bowl game on national TV. It's a good point, Greg.
Yeah.
Get over yourself.
Very, very good point.
That's the Greg Hooden mailbag. Get us out of here, Brent.
Guys, it was good. 8:30 start. Hell of a show. Unbelievable. Week 1.
We're not doing that regularly. We're going back to 8 next week.
Yes, that's correct. We
Okay.
we had some
Okay, good.
existential crises that we had to get figured out. But you know, guys, I had fun. Even though it was a 20-17 loss, we made the most of it. This weekend, Pudge the
We did.
Cat comes to town. Ryan Royer is going to shake Pudge the Cat's hand on the field at Nippert Stadium. It's going to be unbelievable. Eddie freaking George,
You're
the
a
head
piece of
coach
work.
of Bowling Green. It's going to be a spectacular game. Chad and Dave will be talking more about it as the week goes on. We're going to have a bunch of articles on the website as well talking about it. So make sure you lock in there. But this
Press
is where
conference tomorrow with Scott Satterfield talking about talking tomorrow night. Somebody asked on talking about talking yesterday, is this show you just talk about a recap on what was said at the press conference? Like, yeah, that's what this show. That's exactly. Well, how did you figure it out? Aaron had a whole fucking notebook of points that he wanted to talk about from the press conference.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well
Talking
done,
about damn
Nebraska
talking,
fan.
man. Golly. Pretty amazing. But yeah, shouts to Quick Paper Supply. Shouts to Danco Transmission Nautica. Shouts to Ryan Royer, man. He brought the heat today. Great job. Shouts to Coach Scott Satterfield and shouts to Wes Miller. Looking great. You know, we're gonna have a good
Get
week.
us out of here, Brent.
It'll be a great week. Happy Labor Day to everyone. But for the guys, for the crew, for the squad, for Aaron Smith, for Chad Brendel, for Ryan Royer, I'm Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.